Today, assisting in the crowd, of course, the marketing agent Dane Costello, Matt Hurlston and Alan Tran. And together we're representing Ray White Estate Agents, auctioneers and property managers of 276 Nearham Road in Carnegie. On behalf of the team at Ray White, but more importantly on behalf of our vendors here today who are eagerly listening in from inside, we'd just like to say a very quick thank you to you all for your attendance. 20 of the interested buyers here today, all the very best with your bidding, and 20 of the underbidders, commiserations in advance, and we'd love the opportunity to help you find another property in a few moments' time. Now today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of today's auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for the property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer today, I can indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits any major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it does provide fines for misconduct. The rules do permit vendor bids, and the words we'll use during the auction to indicate we're making a bid on behalf of the vendor today will very simply be vendor bid. And of course, by law, only I as your auctioneer have the right to place that bid on behalf of the vendor. Attached to the contract of sale is the section 32. We have had this on display for the last half an hour, and Dane tells me he has sent it out to a couple of you over the last few weeks. For anyone who's taken the time to read through it, you'll see it does confirm Ray White, once again as the vendor's estate agent today, is selling what is formally described as Lot 12 and Lot 24. In this case, Lot 24 being your separate titled car park at the rear of the building on plan of subdivision 00841, which is of course more commonly known to yourself and I as apartment 12, 24 to 26 Park Crescent, here in one of my favourite streets in Caulfield North. Now in a moment's time when we do call for your bidding, we'll be asking for a deposit equal to 10% of the purchase price payable upon signing of an unconditional contract. The balance due, preferential terms, 30, 60 days time if possible. Property sitting there empty, so the shorter the better for you and I both. If you are a first-time auction attendee, to place a bid, simply shout out your bid in a nice clear voice. Nod of the head is fine, or seek assistance from one of the agents here in the crowd today. The way that we'll sell the property is by calling it down 3 times. On the first, second, third and final call, when the contract hits my hand, like so, the property is sold. And at that point, no late bids can or will be accepted by us. So it's essential that if you have come here with the intention of trying to secure the property as your own, that at the fall of the contract, you do have the highest bid. Because if we fall short of the vendor's reserve, the person with the highest bid is still the one that gets to come inside and exclusively negotiate and hopefully buy this property just moments after. And for any of you who know and who've been to our auctions, you'll hear that I always say that in 80% of the cases when we don't meet the reserve, it's the highest bidder that goes on to buy the property then and there on the spot. So if you do want to buy it, you really have no choice, ladies and gentlemen, but to make sure you have the highest bid at the end of the auction, regardless of whether or not we're on the market. So ladies and gentlemen, why would you not be bidding for a property such as this? When you go through streets like this and locations like this, there's very little to fault about it. It was almost textbook. Just a moment ago, we had the kids playing in the gumboots in the puddle in the quiet cul-de-sac opposite the park. Can it get any better than this, ladies and gentlemen? When they talk about locations, this is blue chip. As far as Melbourne goes, this is blue chip. The house just down the road for sale at the moment, I don't know what the price is, but I'm sure it'll probably nudge high ones or two. When a house like that is finished, you're rubbing shoulders with $3 to $4 million neighbours. The ilk of people living in streets like this are exceptional. It's a fantastic location to start as a foothold into the Melbourne real estate market. Just moments away from some of Melbourne's best amenities. Train stations, Monash University, shops, parks, trams, a plethora of shops and shopping strips to choose from. Really, it has everything you could need and more from a location, from an apartment like this. The renovation's second to none. I was just saying to the owners, some of the attention to detail in here is well and truly overkill, but I'm going to take it. I love that when we open up the walk-in wardrobe, which for whatever reason it's got a walk-in wardrobe, I love that in itself, it has a sensor light in there. They didn't need to do that, but it just goes to show that whoever did this renovation took time and effort and cared about what they were putting out at the other end. Little things, it looks like the exhaust fans vented all the way out to the roof for the range hood. Just little things that in apartments, so many of them weren't built with. Attention to detail, again, second to none, ladies and gentlemen. Reverse cycle air conditioning, thoughtfully placed so it cools the entire apartment. With that beautiful view looking from your bedroom straight across the parkland. The apartment and the construction, solid brick, they don't make them like they used to. We're yet to have a building made of brick that's been served a cladding notice by the council. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Not today, not ever. These buildings have been built strong, they've been here a long time, and they'll be here for a long time into the future. So finally, folks, before we call for your bidding, understand that the market has turned a corner. Properties like this are starting to once more sell for more than you want to pay for them. That's just the reality. But do you either hate that and fight that, or do you think back 7 years and accept that? When you were buying houses in streets like this for $1 million and people thought they were too expensive, and now you're lucky if you get change out of 2. It's always the buyer who gets the last laugh. It might not feel that way sometimes when you pay 20, 30, 40 grand more than you wanted to, but it's the buyer in 5, 10, 15 years that gets the last laugh. So buyers, with that, we'll put it across to you now. Call for a fair, reasonable staff. Number 12, 24 to 26 Park Crescent, Caulfield North. In your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to get us underway here today? Don't mind the start. Had something in the early 3s, exceptional buying at that price. Range of 350 to 380, early 3s, can't go past it. Fortune favours the bold buyers. Who wants to be first to roll the dice? Happy to place a vendor bid, but it does mean you'll need to bid on top of me, buyers. Alternatively, you've got the chance to bid on your own terms. 310, can we say? Nice easy place to kick things off here today, early 3s. In your hands. 310, thank you sir. 310,000, fairly bid and offered. A rise of 10 if we could. At $310,000 a bid. Call for a rise to 320 now, buyers at 310 on bid. We'll call it down 3 times for you. At $320,000, welcome to you. 30 sir, 20 I've got this against you now. At 320, a rise of 10 takes us to 30. 320 the bids on my right here. At 320,000 bid, can you say 330? 330, welcome to you sir, 30, 40. 40 strong reply, 30 I've got, moment to think about it, 40, welcome back, at 40 now, 3.5 can we say sir, against you, 350, 340 I've got here on my right, at 340, can you say 3.5 now, at 350, shut you off there didn't I, 350 is the bid, 60 can we say, that's 350 is the bid now, what about 60 now, straight back at him, at $350,000 is the bid, rise of 10 would be to 360, at $350,000, I'll call it down 3 times buyers, at 350, first call now. I'm going to take it to keep things moving, man, at 355, same opportunity, sir, 60, 60 I've got, 65, shaking your head, it could have been the one, sir, well played, at 60, haven't forgotten the reason, sir, 65, 60 I've got, at $360,000 is a bid, take us to 365 now, nod at the head there, no, choking in the wrong direction, I'm getting mixed messages here, sir, at $360,000 is a bid, first call now, 360. 65 can we say, guys? Get yourself back in front. 360. I'll take it for you. 362.5. 362.5. You on board with that? Or pretty goes into that? At 362.5. 365. I know he's straight back. 367.5. So on the 2.5 to help here. 65 I've got. 67.5 can we say? At 365. Going over 2.5. 367.5 I was saying. 7.5, 70 sir, 67.5, 70, 70 I've got, 75, knockout bid, 400, that'll scare you, don't worry, I've got you. 370 is the bid, at 370,000, what about a 2.5 for you sir? Nice, can't make it any easier than that, at $370,000 is the bid now. At 370, we'll call it down 3 more times buyers, happy to take a rise of 2.5 to keep committed, 70 is the bid now, first call at 370. Second call, at 370. Third, final call, at 370. Got another 2.5 in there? What about a 1? A 1. 371. Is that a bid? 371. 75, sir? 75. 375. At 375,000. We're all done here. 375 is the bid. 76. We are on the market and selling. I assure you of that. 76. I won't be pausing. 80 can we say? 80 I've got. 380. Now we're out. At 380,000 buyers. I won't be going inside today at 380,000 on bid. If the contract falls on my hand, the property is sold. If you come to bid and buy, now is the time to speak. At $380,000 on bid. Three more times for you all, ladies and gentlemen. First call now at 80. Second call at 380. Third and final call. 500. What's going to take to get you in?
I'm going to go up, so don't worry.
It won't cost you anything. That's even more reason to do.
I have one question.
Go for it.
With all the rubbish out there,
Yes.
what's that mean about?
I believe that the
It doesn't matter, you should have asked that before. Well, it's going to stay there, so there you go.
Right, we spent a bite and 2 weeks later it'll all be gone. 380,000 is the bid. Look, it's a body corporate matter. I think the owners would need to get together and discuss it with the owners. It's as simple as that. But as far as holds go, it is quite neat and orderly, if I could say so myself. At 380,000 is the bid here. Keep yourself in it, man. Don't miss it for something like that. As he said, he's just going to bid. He might just be talking stronger. It could be the best 500 you've ever spent. At 380,000. Yeah, I'll take the 500. 85? You didn't lie. I thought it might have just been confidence. 385 is the bid. At 385,000. You want to try it again? It's not going to cost you anything. 385,000. First call now at 385. Second call now at 385 is the bid. 386, 90. We can all be friends at the end of this, don't worry. 390,000 is the bid. We're out now. 390,000. Any latecomers over here? 390,000. I appreciate your attendance, man. Thank you very much for coming on. You've been great. At 390,000 is the bid here. Looks like we might have found the highest bidder here today, ladies and gentlemen. At 390 is the bid. First call. Second call at 390. 395. I love your style, sir. Welcome to the race in the late minute. 390. 400. 400 we've got. 405. 405 as a nod. 410. 410. 15. 15 I've got. 20. Here's competition now. 15 is the bid. 20 from the sale. Happy to keep you in at 2. What about 2.5? 15 I've got. 415. At 415,000, so you're definitely out now, aren't you? Got another 500 floating around after that. 415 is the bid, sir. Happy to take the change. 20. 25. He's being confident, but don't let it scare you, sir. 25. 4 1/4 is the bid. At 425,000 we've got now. 425 000. First call at 425. Give you a 126. Second call at 25. This is the moment we talked about that makes or breaks people. 5 to 10 years from now, you're going to be the one laughing. 26. Thank you. 30. Sorry. 27. 28. 8 I've got. 9. 30. 450 will get him. Hacking you up. I hope. 429 I've got. Thank you. 429 the gentleman with the umbrella. 429 is the bid. 30 can we say? 429 is the bid now. 30. First call now at 429. 30. Thank you, sir. Shaking his head now. Could have been the one that did it for you. Well done, sir. At 430, the bid remains yours at the moment. At $430,000. First call at 430. Second call now at 431. Third and final call at 430. We're definitely out, sir. 500. What's going to keep you in it? 430. Last chance for you now. 400. 431. I knew if I asked long enough, you'd do it. I promise I'll do it for you one day. 431's the bid. 32. We've come this far. This is the frustrating part. 32. 32 is the bid. 33, sir. 432. 32 is the bid now. At 432,000. Hearts are racing. They're going to want me to knock it down here. 432 is the bid. For the first time at 432. Second call at 432. Third and final call. Definitely out, sir. 500. Thank you very much for your attendance. 432. Looks like we've found the highest bidder. Contracts in the air. Not going to play around here, sir. All done and dusted. 432. Join me in congratulating the highest bidders, ladies and gentlemen. First, second, third, and final call at 432. We are selling, sold. Congratulations to the highest bidders. Commiserations to the underbidders. Thank you all very much for your attendance. Have a great day.